This podcast was brought to you by SpringfieldGear.com. All right, let's get into one of the questions about that we got last time. The questions that if lightsabers are light, why do they clash when they hit each other, and not just go through each other? Well, the beam of a lightsaber has the atoms are like different atoms the atoms can't. Each kyber crystal has its own kind
Hold on. Can I roll you back for a second so we can kind of set this up so everyone knows what we're talking about? Yes? Okay, so on the last podcast, we had a question asking why lightsabers clash when they hit each other and don't just pass through like they're beams of light like a flashlight. And Tay informed us that it's because lightsabers are made out of atoms called Kyber Crystals. So I asked him to come here tonight to give us a little bit more of a deep dive on exactly what Kyber Crystals are and how they work with lightsabers, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little more.
So Kyber Crystals are what powers the entire thing. And by my guess, it's the thing that produces the beam of light. However, what I'm unsure of is why lightsabers clash. I'm actually not sure. It just seems like it might be because it might just be that and it's not just lightsabers that clash together. Electrostaffs clash with lightsabers.
What's an electrostaff?
During the Clone Wars, commando droids and also some other kinds of battle droids used electrostaffs and fought Jedi with them. They were the most deadly of droids. Not as deadly as General Grievous, who could fight with 4 lightsabers. And either way, he was this Jedi. You know how electrostaffs, I don't know what powers them, but for some reason those 2 weapons clash on when made contact with. It's like the kyber crystal is kyber crystals are extremely rare. They come in all different colors and some kyber crystals can hold information such as the keys to certain holocrons. But other kyber crystals can be found almost on very few planets actually. There's actually one planet that's loaded happy with them, literally has 1 billion. This planet is called it doesn't have a name, but it's where Rowan Freemaker in Freemaker Adventures, that's where he built a huge kyber crystal. BTW can actually literally build a large kyber crystal. He used it to create a ship called the Arrowhead with a blade on front of it that was powered by a kyber crystal, and the shields were also powered by a kyber crystal. These shields were impenetrable. So yeah, it was unstoppable. So its blasters were also powered by the kyber crystal. It was technically a lightsaber chip. Either way, the kyber crystal is a good energy source, and how the lightsaber's beam goes. A lightsaber is very similar to a blaster, only the beam stays inside of what you would call the handle of the blaster. It stays inside, and there's no trigger. It's a button.
Right. Okay. If we can take a step back, do you know anything about the origins of the kyber crystal? Anything you can tell us about that?
Don't know exactly. All I know is that the first time someone used kyber crystals for something as powerful as this is when when Cantu created the Kyber Saber. That's as far back as I can trace to Kyber crystals.
So what's the Kyber Saber?
it's a powerful weapon that can cut through a moon, planet, anything.
So what does it look like?
It looks like a lightsaber, only it's built out of kyber crystals, and you can't make it go back in. Also, when you touch it, when you hold its blade, it doesn't really hurt you. It just you can literally touch its blade.
Okay, so who has the ability to harness these kyber crystals and make weapons out of them? Is it a Sith thing? Is it a Jedi thing?
It's Master Cantu was the first man that ever, using his skills only known to him, he created a blade out of kyber crystals.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Master Cantu?
He's the man. I don't know much, but all I know is that he wanted to create a weapon worthy of a Jedi. The Kyber Saber was the first lightsaber.
And how long ago did he live?
About a few thousand years, actually. Either way, when the Emperor uncovered the information about this Kyber Saber from the archives of the Jedi Temple, he sent his agent Nara, his best agent Nara, to hunt it down. She ran into Rowan, tricked Rowan into thinking he was going to be trained to become a Jedi. But if he had not figured it out that she was a Sith, his family would have been cut to shreds, and he would have been turned to the dark side, and Luke Skywalker would have probably been forced to fight him, even after Rowan and Luke became friends. Either way, Nara found most of the Kyber Saber crystals, although the power was given the power that it gave her so much too much. She turned against the Emperor, tried to slice him into bits, and then tried to slice Rowan into bits. It's complicated. You gotta watch to find out. Anyway,
so when we see people with lightsabers, where do they get them from? Who makes them? Who's making all these lightsabers?
They make their own lightsabers most of the time. Other times people have them lying around.
Okay, so when someone makes them, how do they do that? Do we know?
Most don't know. I don't know exactly. I've been trying to figure out a way to create my own prototype lightsaber, but I've even consulted with a few friends. All I'm missing is something to power the lightsaber, and here's my theory. My theory is that Yoda most likely is very good at making them, and has a bunch laying around. So he must give them to his Padawans.
Okay. Oh shoot! I had one more question for you. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, also on the last podcast, we talked about if you were to make your own lightsaber, what color it would be, and you went into some detail about how you would like to have a 4-bladed lightsaber of different colors, right?
Yep.
Now that you've had some time to think about it, is that still the way you would go?
Yep.
And what were the colors again?
Red, orange, yellow, green.
So what makes you choose those colors?
Since they're first colors in the rainbow.
That's the only reason why?
Yep. Also because if I wanted to, I would make the entire thing green. Or blue. Who am I kidding? I would make it entirely. Or purple. I don't know. I really have no idea.
So if you were to have this 4-bladed lightsaber, you said you would use it in a spinning motion. So you would just spin it around like this?
No, yes, but it would I wouldn't move my wrist. I would hold on to a handle in the middle of a ring that's spinning.
And it would spin?
Yeah.
The problem I see with that is if you tilt it forward or backwards, you're going to be hitting yourself at the same time.
Actually, unlikely. It'll be a large enough ring.
Okay. I feel like there might be some flaws in your design, but you're the lightsaber master, not me.
Besides quadruple bladed, it would only go in when I'm fighting. It would only turn like that before a second before I split it in half. It splits in half, and I can have two
double-bladed lightsaber. How are you going to spin those things?
Ring thingy. The other half of the ring will just come right out, and then it'll spin just like just spin just like the Inquisitor's lightsaber.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the topic of lightsabers you wanted to talk about tonight?
Nope. I'm actually all set.
All right. Well, thanks, Tay, for doing this deep dive on the topic of lightsabers and Kyber crystals. This is probably going to be our last podcast at home. When we get back for our next episode, I think we're going to be in the brand new podcast studio. All right.
Yeah, wait.
Until next time.
All
High
right.
five.